Hi everyone, it's Karen the Geordie Grandma. Today is an eBay sales video. I've decided to do monthly eBay sales video, so this one is for June. I've had 63 sales in June and I'm going to show you 20 of them. Most of them have been low price clothing, so I'm not going to show you any of those. I'm just going to show you some of the more interesting things. For anyone who's new to my channel, I'm an eBay reseller. That's how I make my living. I work part-time hours, and at the moment I'm relying on auctions, local auctions, to get my stock from. There has been a couple of weekends back to car boots after the lockdown, but unfortunately in the northeast it's rained both weekends, so the car boot sales haven't been brilliant, so I'm relying on auctions. Hopefully the weather's going to get better and we'll get to go to some car boots, but I seem to recall last year it would be lovely through the week and then it would get to Sunday and it would chuck it down. So fingers crossed it doesn't do that for the rest of the summer. So let's get straight in with these sales. The first one is this vintage china plate with what is called My Kitchen Prayer written on it. It's quite a nice little plate, came in an auction haul. I did have it listed quite a while, it was in good condition, no chips or cracks. There was a tiny mark near the rim there that I couldn't get off. Somebody had obviously had it hanging on the wall. As you can see on the back it says foreign, so there wasn't any particular brand. So I listed it for $14.95. Like I say, I have had it listed quite a while, but it sold for the full price. I paid £1.56 for it. Well, as it came in an auction haul, £1.56 is what it owes me, and after fees that was a profit of £11.28. And if you don't already know, when I say after profit, I take off what I paid for it, eBay fees, PayPal fees and the postage. So what's left, I class that as my profit on that item. Next is these Nike golf shoes. They are Power Channel TAC Traction Contact golf shoes. I didn't already know that. It was written inside somewhere on the label. These were new, they'd never been worn. I picked them up in a charity shop early last year. They were a size 5. See, they've still got the tags on. I thought they might have done a little bit better than they did, but I didn't seem to get much interest in them. They cost me £3. I had them on for £29.95, but I did take an offer of £20, which I was happy to do because it's good to get things moving. So after fees that was a profit of £14.92, which was still a decent profit. Then we've got this bundle of Game of Thrones figures. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, so I was slightly tempted to keep the figures, but I'm more of a reseller than a Game of Thrones fan, so I had to go. I got these in a charity shop. I think this was not long before lockdown. They had tons and tons of them, and I was going to go back and see if I could buy the rest, but unfortunately the charity shops were shut, so I didn't get to go back. But I put these all on as a bundle. There were 14 of them. Had, you know, a lot of the main figures in there. Most of them, well, all of them were boxed, apart from this one that wasn't, but I thought I'd throw that in as well. I put them on for £160, and I took an offer. Somebody offered me £100, so I accepted the offer, and then they messaged me half an hour later to say, sorry, can I cancel the order? I've put the offer in on the wrong thing, on the wrong listing. So I thought, okay, so we cancelled the order, and about half an hour later they actually sold again for another offer of £125. So I ended up getting £25 more than the first offer, which was good. So I don't know. So when it says here none available and 2 sold, I think I've mentioned this before, I haven't actually sold 2 lots of these. It's because it's sold and then the order was cancelled, then I just renewed the quantity, so it looks like I've sold 2. So I don't know whether that made it sell quicker the second time, you know, give it some kind of link juice or whatever you want to call it, but for whatever reason it sold fairly quickly after that for £125, which I was really happy about. They did cost me Altogether these cost me £38 from the charity shop, which was quite a lot, but I did think they were worth it. And after fees that was a profit of £63.31. So when that charity shop opens again, I'm going to get myself back there and see if they've got the rest of them. And they actually went off on the GSP to Germany. Next is this Duchess Winchester 25-piece tea set. Another item that came in an auction box. This is quite a large set, so it was a challenge for Warren to parcel it up when it did sell. I've had it listed for quite a few months now, and it is a large set, so it was taking up quite a big space in my stock room. So when somebody offered me £33 for this, I think it was £33, yeah, they offered me £33, I decided to take it. Nearly half price, but I think that was still a decent price for it. It was a green and gilt pattern to it. Probably green and gilt isn't that sought after, but it was quite a nice tea set. Not my cup of tea, pardon the pun, but somebody did like it. As I say, I took £33 for that. It owed me £4.53 from the auction haul, and after fees that was a profit of £23.03. Another tea set here, but a much smaller one. This was 2 trios, and this is Phoenix Ware. See on the bottom there it says Phoenix Ware, made in England, TF&S Limited. 2 trios, blue and yellow flowers, very pretty, really nice colours. They were vintage. These came from the box that I bought off my sister-in-law. There was another, I think there was another 3 tea plates and maybe one other cup and saucer with it, but they all had chips in, so I decided just to get rid of those and sell these 2 trios on their own. They owed me £1.18, and they did sell for the full price of £19.95, so Phoenix Ware is well worth picking up. And after fees that was a profit of £15.29, which is pretty good for 2 trios. Then we've got these pair of Herb Garden coffee mugs from the Leonardo collection, fine bone china. These also came in an auction lot. Not a lot to say about them. Pretty, maybe collectible. Didn't have these on for too long, and they did sell for the £12, and the people who bought them actually didn't live very far away, so they came to pick them up, so it saved us packaging, and they saved on postage. They owed me 71p, and after fees that was a profit of £9.38. Next, this Tales of Honeysuckle Hill May. It is a Regency Fine Arts figure. These were also in the haul I got from my sister-in-law. There was 2 of them. There was this one, and I'm not sure what the other one was now. Some other kind of animal, obviously, but it had a little chip in it, so I decided not to sell it. I only listed this one, the mare, for £7.50. It's a cute little figure, and I suppose that, you know, they're collectible by people. It wasn't in a box. But there was no chips or cracks in this one. It was in good condition. And it did sell for the £7.50. It owed me £1.18, and after fees that was a profit of £5.07. These glasses, they were Mary Gregory style glasses, as I found out when I did a bit of research. And I think that just means that it had these paintings, these kind of paintings on them. There was 2 glasses and the jug that you can see there. I'm not sure that they were a matching set. The jug doesn't look like it goes with the glasses. It doesn't have this kind of, what would you call that, a petal bit on the side. But it still had the painting, so I'm thinking somebody had actually done these themselves in the Mary Gregory style. They came in an auction lot. I did take an offer on these of £16. I had them listed probably for 6 months, so I was happy to take the offer. They owed me £5.22. There wasn't, I did get them from an auction. There wasn't that many listings in the box from the auction. I think I got 6 listings from everything that was in there, so they did owe me £5.22. These went off on the GSP to Australia, and they actually did get there intact, and the buyer was quite happy with that. And the profit after fees was £7.96. I don't think they would be something that I would pick up if I saw them on their own, but because they were in the auction lot, you know, I was going to list them because I thought they would be worth something, and I was right. Next is another thing that was in this auction haul I picked up from my sister-in-law, and these were some vintage Arco Rock glass fish-shaped fish plates. I suppose you could put anything on them, but it would make sense to put fish on them, I suppose. There's supposed to be 6 in the box, but there was actually only 5, so I had to say that in the listing, obviously. Nice, quite nice plates. It's something I would have probably used myself. There was no chips or cracks in them. The box was a bit worn, but I suppose they weren't buying them for the box, they were buying them for the plates. Took an offer on these of £20, so, and they owed me £1.18, so after fees that was a profit of £15.89. Now we get to something that is a bit out of my comfort zone. I decided that I would give this a try when I saw it at a car boot sale last week, actually. One of the only car boot sales that I've managed to get to in the last 6 months. As I've seen other people pick up helmets, motorbike helmets, so I thought I would give it a try. I did do a little bit of research before I bought it at the car boot. I kind of flicked through eBay on my phone, and I seen that there were, you know, this make RI wasn't too bad. The guy wanted £15 for it, and we said, will you take 10? And he said, I'll take 12. So I paid him £12 for it. I had only had it listed about 4 days. I listed it for 70 and somebody offered me 60, and at the moment, you know, every bit of income helps, so I decided to take the offer of £60, which I was really pleased with, because it means that I'll definitely be picking these things up again. This was a small size, so maybe I could have got a little bit more if it was a bigger size. So after fees that was a profit of £38.13, and yeah, I'll definitely pick those up again. That also went off on the GSP to Italy. Then we've got this Habitat wooden desk or mantle clock. Again, it came in an auction haul. I had noticed the clock, but I didn't notice it was Habitat, and I know that Habitat is quite collectible. I'm not sure if Habitat's still around today. I think it might be, but this, I think this was definitely a vintage one. It was wooden. It did have a couple of marks on it. I think it had been around when somebody was painting, because it looked like it had a little bit of paint on the top. The battery compartment was fine. Yeah, and quite a nice clock. It was working. I tested it. It owed me £1.53, and it did sell for the £25. So after fees that was a profit of £18.64. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye open for some more Habitat clocks. There is another Habitat clock that is a digital one. It's just a little, like a little square plastic digital clock from Habitat that goes for really good money. So Habitat clocks are definitely worth looking out for. This Santa musical ornament came in the auction haul that I did a video on. I think it was last week or the week before. I got 12, I think 12 or 13. I think it was 12 musical ornaments, and there was a couple of little figures in there as well. I paid £22.54 for all of it, and this is the first one to sell. I did take an offer on this of £30. I thought that was well worth it. This was one of the ones that had no damage on it, nothing missing on it. The music worked fine, not boxed obviously, and it was a little faded in places. I think it's from the 1980s. I think these are from. It didn't have an ESCO on the bottom, which most of the ones that I got did. This said Matrix Industries, but I'm not sure if these were actually made for an ESCO, although the stickers weren't on the bottom, so I wasn't entirely sure about that. It owed me £1.73, and like I said, I took an offer of £30, so after fees that was £23.52. So when you consider that the whole lot only cost me £22.54, I've already made my money back on that auction lot, and I've still got another 12 items listed, so definitely worth picking up. This Insanity Max DVD pack was also in the auction haul with a lot of china and things like that, and it really didn't seem to go with everything that was in the box. So I'm not sure if it was put in that box by mistake or whether it was just a clear out of somebody's house and it ended up in there. But Insanity Max exercise workout thing. Used to be quite popular a few years ago. I didn't realise it still was, but apparently it is. The guy's called Shaun T. It's a really intensive exercise workout, not something I'm going to try myself. There was 10 DVDs in here. It didn't look like it had ever been used. I think there was supposed to be some little booklets that came with it to, to explain more about the exercises and give you a proper workout guideline or something with it, but those weren't there. It was just the DVDs. I put it on for £50, and somebody offered me, actually got a few low offers on this. It was only on eBay for maybe a week, if that, and I got a few lowball offers of £20, £25, but I thought I would hang on, and somebody offered me 40, so I thought, yeah, I'm happy to take £40 on that. It owed me £1.53, so after fees that was a profit of £32. So I'm really going to keep my eyes peeled for these Insanity Max DVDs if I come across them. This was something that I was actually really quite shocked that it sold. It is in a brass plaque, and it's got the Lord's Prayer kind of etched onto it, and it's got some pictures, raised pictures around the side. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be Jesus. It's a shepherd in the field with some sheep. There's a Bible at the bottom, some leaf detail around the sides. Very 70s. There was some scratches and marks on it. I cleaned it up as best I could, but they weren't going to go away. But I did put that in the listing. I put religious in the title, obviously, because it's the Lord's Prayer, and I'm assuming things like that are quite collectible by people, because this again wasn't listed very long, probably not even a week. I listed it for £7.50 and it went for £7.50. It owed me £1.53. So after fees, that was a profit of £4.72. Again, that came in an auction lot, and I'm really surprised that did sell as quick as it did. You just never know what's going to sell in these auction boxes that you pick up. This is another thing that, well, I know Warren was quite like, really, you're going to list that? But these ceramic shire horses do seem to sell well. I have sold a couple before, but I think horses are quite collectible, and this was a nice one. It didn't have, it didn't have any chips or cracks. It was in good condition. A nice big size, 9 inches tall, so it was quite large. I think it had maybe a couple of little pieces missing from it that I did put in the description, but all in all it was quite in good condition. It did go for the full £14.95, and it only owed me £1.56 from an auction box, so after fees that was a profit of £10.32. And lastly is this blue and white ceramic planter in the shape of maybe a wishing well or an old water pail. It's a really lovely planter, this. I don't know if it ever been used. It was in really good condition. It did have some markings on the bottom which were Chinese, but I think I mentioned this, I showed this in the video last week that I did my auction haul on. I showed this in that, and I said when I've researched Chinese markings, I always struggle to find out what they mean, or what make they're supposed to be. So I didn't know on this one, so I just listed that it had some Chinese stamp on the bottom. There was 2 very tiny marks on the flowers which you could hardly see, so when somebody offered me £17 for that, I was quite happy to take it. It owed me £1.53, and after fees that was a profit of £13.85. I think planters are quite sought after. People like different varieties of planters in their garden, don't they? So they're well worth listing. So those were my 20 sales. I think I've done 20 sales today, yes. I hope you found those interesting. I hope you found them useful. If you're a reseller and you come across any of these things or any of these brands yourself, you may be thinking, oh well, I'll pick that up because I know Karen sold one. Have you sold anything recently that you think is interesting? Let me know in the comments below. I always like to hear things like that. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. So bye for now.